Oh, what is going on, gamers? Episode 40. Making sure I can get this right. 44 this this week. Um,
Oh,
what I say? 42 last week or something?
I think last time you also said 44.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like I think that was the thing.
It's okay. It was
But
just like a projection for the future, I was just thinking
yeah,
ahead. Thinking ahead.
yeah, a little bit. Well, I mean, it's a little more empty in here, so we got to.
A little bit. Some people wanted to go play fight games and, go to a convention or something. I don't know. Fucking normal people, I guess.
Look,
I don't
look,
know.
look. It's all right. We can make. Look, there's going to be a weekend in March that I can't do, and so if that lands on a podcast day, then we'll just leave those two to do it, and you can have a day off.
Yeah,
Just
true.
give one of
True.
them the stream key, and you could have a day off and do nothing on a Sunday. I can go watch some wrestling, and it'll be cushy.
Well, at this point, I think I already have one of those weekends. Let's see. Going to Disneyland sometime in March. Was that? So the 16th. Next one's 2nd. Yeah. So I won't be able to make the 15th. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I mean,
Sorry,
honestly,
guys.
that like that we'll figure that one out because it's the weekend after that I can't do, so that's fine.
Oh,
Although
okay.
I think that means I'm missing out on D&D that weekend, so we'll see how that goes. Um, we'll see how that goes. But
Just
no, I mean,
your character takes an extended nap.
yeah, yeah, that's typically what we do in that campaign. If someone can't be there for a session, then they get thrown in the bag. But the thing is, like, three of us who are in that D&D party are also going to the wrestling show. So it might just have to be a postpone because there's a lot of us, and I'm trying to get my own D&D off the ground, so it's fun.
Oh yeah, always something to do. Always something.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, we'll figure that out when we get there. Um, but yeah, like I said, the next couple of months in general are just gonna be so fucking busy, at least on my end. Like I think I have one day off, like one day each week for the next 6 weeks where I'm not doing something. Like everything else,
Jesus
I have
Christ.
something on at one point or another, and I'm fine.
Yeah. Mental stability. We love it.
Yeah, yeah,
At least you're
but
getting
it.
shit done. I'm sitting over here fucking playing the fucking Icarus till 4 a.m. in the morning like a responsible adult.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm over here like getting back into Sea of Thieves because a new update
Oh
drops this
no.
week. Well, yeah, we're finally getting the Hunter's Call update, bro.
Oh yeah?
2020, 2025 is the year that it happened. I'm starting to get back. I'm trying to spend the next couple of days to de-rust before the update drops. The new WWE game is coming out, so I need to pre-order that when I get my next payment in.
Yeah.
So that's like it's a whole thing.
Oh god.
Um, and so yeah, and then on top of all that, we got fucking Splitgate coming out into alpha in a
Yep.
couple of weeks.
Saw that.
That look, I'm someone who enjoyed Splitgate. Um, I played it when it was popular, and I kept playing it when it wasn't. I'm excited for Splitgate too because I think it can be fresh. I think it could be interesting. It is the shooter, first person shooter that you are so used to with Halo and Call of Duty and whatever, but with the added twist of one of the greatest puzzle games ever made. What's not to love?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say I'd put hundreds of hours into the fucking Splitgate when it came out.
Mm.
So that's one thing I didn't look into. I know the alpha is coming to PS5. Is it going anywhere else from what you saw?
From what I saw, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything on Steam. Let me see. Alpha PC. Let's
Yakuza
see if they have
pirates get
anything.
lasers on their ships. Oh yeah, that's
Um,
right. The Yakuza pirate game's coming out too.
yeah.
No, I don't think they have
Oh.
lasers on the Sea of Thieves yet.
No, but we do have flamethrower on boat.
True. True, true, true.
So, oh, I just found a video. Splitgate is coming. I think it's on all platforms.
Oh,
I
really?
think, yeah, they put out a YouTube short 3 days ago. That simply says like a load of comments being like, when is it coming to console? Playtest going to be available for consoles. Da da da. And so they have PS5, Xbox Series S, and Steam. Apparently, looking at
Like,
this, so what is it? February 27th, Splitgate 2. So going off of that, I do have to assume that Steam is going to have the early access, and if we can get in on that, I think that might be a side quest episode lined up for us in March.
hell yeah,
I
dude.
might be a bit of a freebie week, literally, Quizzies for free. I will keep doing research on Steam. Um, but I have it on wish list, so
That's gonna be sick.
hopefully
I
I will
I
get an
enjoyed the
email.
hell out of that game. Man, fucking when you get into later ranks, dude. Oh my god, the portal plays are insane.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they're not even shooting their gun half the time. They're making portals and then shoot their gun. It's portal
Yeah, you
portal
know.
shoot portal portal shoot. Like it's it's a new means of cover. There's definitely a huge skill gap when it comes to ranked in that, but it's fun.
No, absolutely. And I'm just like looking at, some of the trailer footage, and obviously it is trailer footage, but like it looks clean. Like the HUD looks clean as fuck. It's a little bulky. But obviously we got to remember this is early access. This is an alpha build, subject to change. But in terms of how the game looks and how it looks like it's gonna feel, it looks fun. It looks fun.
I'm
So
excited, honestly.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited too. Like as someone who didn't really get into the Halo shooters because that's very much what it's emulating, right? It is the Halo specific first person shooter style. It's just again, it's that weird arcadey fun take on what is normally quite a serious and strategic and sweaty game. So I'm here for it 100%. But
After watching this very special spotlight that we're gonna get into later, I kind of hope that the same thing happens with Infinite and Halo Studios is like, oh, we need a cook.
yeah,
Uh,
no, I think well, here's the thing, right? The 2025 genuinely feels like it could be one of the greatest years for video games if we do it right. And I will emphasize that if we do it right.
as if we
Because
haven't said that
obviously,
almost every year so far.
well, no, right? I no. See, I will bite back on this. I knew that 2023 was like basically going to be the year that we're waiting for Baldur's Gate to come out. Last year was pretty good for the AAA scene. But this year, like, I mean, we've got Borderlands announced for Q3. We've got Splitgate 2 coming out, which looks good. Obviously, technically it came out in December last year, but this is like the year of Marvel Rivals. This is the year where Overwatch looks to be getting its renaissance. As far as we can see, GTA 5 is still lined up. Hopefully, Sea of Thieves is going to get a bit of a renaissance now. I will say that the last couple of weeks in this update, as someone who's not been playing the game, I have wanted to come back to it. So that is something, right?
Yeah.
Um, and there are so many interesting games. It's not even a case of like good games. Because you never know if a game's going to be good. But games that look very, very interesting are lined up for this year, and I'm very, very excited. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Overwatch 2 might be on that list of things that I'm interested by this year.
They definitely cook some shit up.
Mm.
Five. Wait, what did we mention with five? What happened to six? Wait, five what? What did we say was five?
Oh, was I
Ge-
talking about GTA? Did
Oh,
I say GTA 5, not GTA 6? That's my bad.
oh, yeah, yeah.
That's my bad. It's because I've been getting back into GTA RP this week, so like GTA 5's on the mind. That's my bad. I apologize. I apologize, chat. That is on me.
I
I've
didn't even
been,
catch that. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. Well, it's GTA. It's Grand Theft Auto, so it's great. It's great. I think this is going to be a really interesting year. But yeah, Overwatch genuinely might be in that position this year. I'm like, am I actually going to be interested in Overwatch? Because previously, for the last couple of years, I've only played it for charity events. Um, like probably since Overwatch 2 came out, I played it casually. I played the first set of PvE stuff because it was bought for me so that I could do a collab stream. That got cut off, so I was like, okay, I have charity tournaments over the next couple of years. I'll do those, and then I'm fucking done. I'm done with this game other than the charity stuff. Looking at the spotlight, I'm actually kind of interested, especially with like the perk systems. And this is the thing for me. I don't give a shit about 2v6. I I think 2v5 like 5v5 6v6 whatever, like it doesn't, the core game needs to work
Yeah,
before anything else, right? So it doesn't matter, like, cuz 5v5 can clearly work, but it then becomes an issue of there becomes certain correct ways to play, and I don't like it when these games have a correct way to play because I think that's boring. But then, 6v6 obviously then becomes a whole other thing of, you're going to get the people that hate 6v6 because they want to hate something. But what I'm really interested in is this perk system that they're introducing and this new game mode that they're introducing, which do look quite fun.
I think it's like everything they did is complementary of each other at the end of the
Mm,
day.
yeah.
Like the one thing I totally agree with that they actually mentioned on the spotlight too was just 5v5s had that little like percentage where your game was like taking forever or stalemating out, and it's like nobody wants to play that, right? um so I think the whole 6v6 coming back is going to be pretty cool.
Mm,
And that with these perks coming out, that's just going to make it that much more interesting, at least for a while, until everybody, I guess, kind of gets, quote unquote, tired of the perk system, which is inevitable at the end of the day. But then there's the whole stadium system. Oh my god, the amount of the amount of utility in that one is
yeah.
insane.
Well, I
Uh,
think like so obviously perk and stadium are very different things. For people who haven't seen the spotlight, basically the perk system is going to be as the game goes on, the more you build. I'm not sure. I think it's either alt charge that you build, or you just like build your kills and your healing or whatever, and you can unlock perks. And they are little modifications that will change up the game. And it's not going to be a game-changing situation, but I think it is going to be a breath of fresh air because then you can play each hero a couple of different ways, which will be fun. I think there's like, from what I saw, it's like you have sort of a passive. You can get passive perks, which are just boosts over time, or you can get stuff that change the ways your abilities work, and those are the ones that are going to get interesting. Because every game, it's not going to be a case of, oh, there's an Orisa, so they're going to do the Orisa thing. You're going to actually play the fucking game and figure out, is that Orisa going to go down this playstyle or this playstyle? And how am I going to counteract that? It's just a lot more sort of moves and counter moves without it just being straight counter swapping, which
yeah.
is a boring system.
So that was one of my main questions. And I don't think any of us still have an answer to it. Is if you swap a character, are you still going to have the same perks, or do you have to like re level up, quote unquote, to get those perks? If you
Yeah.
So that's going to be a factor in itself as well.
I
Um,
guess, yeah, it's going to be really interesting because is it going to be based on how long the match has gone on for? Like, so every like 90 seconds you unlock your next perk? Because what I can absolutely potentially see if the system isn't done correctly. It's like I'm gonna play Mercy for the first 2 minutes, get both my perks, and then immediately switch on to Reaper and have both my Reaper perks just off rip.
Well, I think that's the thing is it sounded like they were explaining it as more of a like quote unquote leveling thing, like an XP. So like I'd guess it would be based off your kills essentially or your stats
Yeah,
in general.
damage
So
block, stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, so that'd be interesting. So
And
like
yeah, I guess
maybe you
it
progress the game and you got like a level 2 soldier with 2 perks or whatever, and you got a level 3 mercy with 3 perks, and you're going into overtime. They're like, which one am I gonna pick? Like,
yeah, I honestly I don't hate the idea of like, do I swap off my hero and lose my perks? And clearly be at a disadvantage, but I swap into something that goes against their hero and then force them to make the decision of do I swap and lose my perks.
yeah,
So it's gonna be a bit of a game of chicken, like,
a little bit.
but like I said, I want to see gameplay of it. I want to see the system in action. Because I'm not gonna be one of you fucking losers on the internet. Here's our bi-weekly Zephyr hates the internet, and here is why. Because
Bingo card.
I've seen, you've got two sides on the internet right now. You've got the sides that are, oh my god, Overwatch is so back. Oh yeah. And then you've got the side who is very much like, oh, now you're just copying Marvel Rivals. You're still a shit game. Fucking, the tribalism,
Yep.
right? And I'm just out here, being the fence sitter that I am, because oh, look at me, I'm a fence sitter. But I'm in the position of, isn't this a good thing? Isn't
Yeah.
games taking systems from each other, realizing what, developers realizing, we wanted to double down on our thing. Another game came out, and they're doing better, so we're now going to take the system that they use and adapt it in this way. Ultimately, whether it's a scummy thing or not, whether it's the right thing or not, absolutely, it's very clear that the Overwatch devs, over the course of the last few years, the life cycle of Overwatch 2, have made some piss poor decisions. No one is denying that. No one is denying that. If you're denying that, I am really sorry, but you are a bit delusional. Um, but at the end of the day, we want Overwatch and Marvel Rivals to be constantly competing with each other. I wouldn't be surprised or upset if, a few months from now, Marvel Rivals brings in a perk system for their heroes, the same as Overwatch has. Because that creates competition, that creates a healthy atmosphere for these games where we have two games that are competing with each other, trying to get better, and hopefully that just ends up with two really good hero shooters, which means we have more games to play that we like, and we're not just going to be playing the same fucking game for 50 hours a week.
Yep.
Am I the only one that thinks that this is a good thing? And
No,
that games taking
competition
this
is good.
like it's good? Why are we like, I get the whole, you can dunk on the company all you want, but then like hating on the Overwatch streamers that went to the spotlight to cover it. Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be good. Yeah, because Blizzard have flown them out to test a new thing. They are gonna be a little bit gracious, but also do not deny and say that this stadium game mode doesn't look like a crazy, like crack-filled circus of fun, because I saw a Reinhardt fly from one end of the map to the other and cap the point and save the game. That is fucking amazing, right?
That was fucking sick.
It's the little bits of Deadlock that I did genuinely enjoy in a style of game that I can actually play. Like, why? Well, yeah, but, oh, they're copying Deadlock. Well, Deadlock clearly did something right then. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's like when everyone started copying the fast travel system. Would you rather we didn't do that and we walk everywhere? Because if you do, go play Morrowind.
No, no, everybody in that little bubble wants mounts over fast travel. That's what they want. Give me a horse, bro. Yeah, that debate on with New World was so absolutely terrible. Like it wasn't New World's not even a big map. It doesn't take that long to walk across to different towns, and everybody's just like, there was a fast travel system, but everybody's like, so when we get mounts, where's the mount at? And mind you, it wasn't when you flagged for PvP, it was an open world PvP system. So it's like, how the hell's that gonna work? Like, there's only one game that I actually know of that does the whole PvP mount system really well, and that's Albion Online.
Mm. No, it can be an interesting thing. Like I think this is ultimately my thing, and I've debated with Dark Souls players to the death about this, right? Because I just believe that games in general, mostly single player, but you know, it's applicable to multiplayer on some occasions, where like just have options. If you want to do this thing, do this thing. If you want to do that thing. Like I really want to play Elden Ring. I do really want to play it because the world looks interesting and the story actually seems quite interesting. But I have no interest in the Soulsborne style of gameplay. Like that's
Yeah.
just not what interests me. If I had a slider where I could personally, you know, decide how easy or difficult it is to parry, how easy or difficult it is to time your immunity frames, you know, all that stuff, then I would be able to enjoy this single player experience the way me as a single player would like to do it. But the second I bring that up, it's like you're ruining the game, you're fucking ruining the experience. Like let me I spent the money on this thing. Let me play it how I want to.
Isn't
Like
there a game coming out that's literally gonna do that?
I think so. I can't remember
I
the name of it, but you
Yeah, I
saying that
can't.
has like rung a bell in my brain.
Yeah, I can't remember, but they said they were literally gonna have those minute details where you can just like everything about the game just fucking on the slider, however
Yeah.
you want.
And that's fucking great. That's a again, this is a good thing because then we're not gonna have this gatekeeping of different video games, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want to play the game, you spent the money on it, and you want to experience the world. Like this is why I was um, very much in the positive camp when Sea of Thieves brought in the solo servers and brought in the offline servers, you know, private servers. You had a lot of people be like, "Oh, you know, it's gonna ruin the game." It's like, no, let people. If you want to sit there with your 7-year-old kid and just sail the seas together, you can do that now. And if you're a new player who wants to learn the game, you can do that. And then when you feel like you're confident and you want to go for the end game shit, then you can go into online because that's what it's there for. But people can now play these games how they want. Like this is we
That's
have
what
accessibility menus. Let's fucking use them.
that's one thing that kind of blew my mind about that whole thing was, oh yeah, this is gonna it's gonna ruin the game. Like, you mean you can't go around and just like shit on people that don't know the game anymore? Is that like it's those people who are saying that it was gonna ruin
Yeah.
the game, right?
Now,
So
yeah, because now it is a case of like you weren't going to get anything because either they weren't going to want to fight you and you would be chasing them for 20 fucking minutes, which I have been through, by the way. You know, you chase them for 20 minutes and they end up scuttling or whatever. Or you were going to take them out in 5 seconds flat and just get a bunch of supplies that you didn't need because they were too inexperienced to fight. So basically, if it's now a case of if we want to do tall tales, if we want to do the story, if we want to just like sit and fish, you know, we could just go into safer seas and fucking fish, and we can do that. And now, if you're in high sea, because now I no longer feel bad, because I did have that for the longest time. Like if we were in a fight and people didn't want to fight, like, I felt bad because like I don't know who does and doesn't want to experience certain parts of the game. Now I load into high seas, and if I see a ship, like you have made the choice to go into high seas and experience this level of game. You are accepting that this is a threat that you want to take, right? So there you go. the argument doesn't work like that when it's a single player experience because oh well you bought the game so you decided that you're going to suffer with the hard difficulty. It's like, well, no, because I didn't buy the game, because I don't want to buy the game because of how it is. If you give me the accessibility stuff, then I will buy the game. They will make more money and they will be able to make more games for you. Like it's
I
people
just
feel I feel like people are stupid, but maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know.
I've never understood the level of gatekeeping, especially when it comes to like a solo experience. It's just it's always
Yeah.
just baffled me. Like is you- like there's places for that, right? You wanna compete in a solo kind of setting, you know, you go do like a speed run or some shit. Don't like shit on other people for fucking playing games, dude. Like that's
Yeah.
how that's that's how we get where we are. All right.
Es- Especially when like they have spent right. You spent $30 on this. Sorry, we're in 2025. You spent $130 on this game, right? So you can play it how you want. But that person also spent that money on that game. Let them play it how they want. And if you get genuine pleasure out of dunking on people who are new to the game, and you get genuine pleasure out of like actually ruining other people's day. Like we have the joking thing, "Oh, I ruined that guy's day," but if you actually get joy out of your video game by upsetting other people, making them feel inferior, and like having this big ego complex, um, okay, okay, bro,
Nin-
okay,
90% of Marvel Rivals players at this point.
like, come on, like, all right, cool. I'm you you need help. Like and I'm not saying you can't feel good about it. You know, if you play really fucking well in your game, you're allowed to feel good about it. You're allowed to be like, oh yeah, you're allowed to have an ego. Having an ego is okay. Everyone needs a little bit of ego. But there is a line of like, no, you're just being a dickhead now.
Yeah.
You're just being a dickhead. And that's not cool. Let these people play the game that they bought how they want to. All right. And you know, because at the end of the day, half of the people on here, like we have what 3-4 hours of free time a day. You know, if you want to sweat it out, go to competitive, go to high seas, whatever. Like that's the sweaty. But like, if you're just in quick play, if you're just casually gaming, like let them play the game how they want. If you lose the match, oh well, you'll load into another one in 5 minutes.
Next.
Or if you're in Overwatch currently, you'll load into another one in 20 minutes. If you're was it DPS players loading really quickly? No, loading really slow and tanks
Yeah.
loading really. I don't know. I don't
Tanks are
know.
quick.
I haven't played the game in like 8 months.
Uh, I
Um,
I think it's great, especially like for Overwatch too. The stadium mode again looks insane.
it looks so much
Um,
fun. And
like
I want to see
the
what
art
weird and
team is
wacky
cooking.
combos. Yep, no, 100%. I want to see what weird and wacky combinations I can come up with. Because even for someone like Mercy, who is innately very simple, I'm like, what are you gonna do with those abilities? What's the res perks gonna look like? What's the guardian angel perks gonna look like? Am I literally gonna be able to zoom around like a fucking like a fly, like a little gnat?
I think there
You
was a
know?
section that actually said that Mercy will have more of a like instead of waiting for your teammate to die, it's I'm gonna put this on my teammate so when he does die, he just instantly reses kind
Yeah,
of thing. So that looked kind
yeah.
of sick,
That's
bro.
fun.
And Battle Mercy, dude. Just
Yep,
imagine.
yep. That it's gonna become like a proper. That is is there gonna be a thing with Diva where she's genuinely like not more powerful, but like when you're in baby form, when you're out of your
Oh
mech,
my
you have a
god,
load of other shit you can do. We don't know. Torb can stick his turrets anywhere and he can upgrade his turret. Like, I really wanna.
dude, that looks
I
so sick. Oh
I
my
I
god.
I'm actually going to be keeping my eye on the Overwatch Twitter page, which is something I have not done since the launch of Overwatch 2, just to see because And you know what? I'm probably not going to play a lot of quick play anymore. I'm probably just going to spend most of my time in Stadium. And I think you're going to get a decent chunk of the Overwatch community that is going to become Stadium players and they just play Stadium. We're
Yeah.
probably going to end up with competitive Stadium. I'm not going to touch that because fuck that, but it's probably going to be there and it'll probably be cool for the people that enjoy it. And this is great.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be sick. And on top of that, too, like when you can sell everything for full price, so you're not even like
Yeah.
you're not locked to what you bought.
Ah. Oh, that I see. I don't know what it's like in other other games like that, right? In other MOBAs, if it is you sell it for full price or you get a thing,
Yeah.
but it's
For
like that
like
way. It's
yeah, for like deadlock, you only if you sell an item, you only get half your money back, kind of thing. So like it kind of deters that whole like, oh, I'm gonna change up my full build, right? To
yeah.
where this is like, just have fun.
Well,
See
the
ya.
other thing is like you have like every couple of rounds you have a good like minute to do all your perks. So if it's like I just want to see what this does. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, but this could actually work if I go down this route and I'm going to make my own loadout. Then, like, yeah, you're not punished for experimenting. And I think that is one of the most important things in game modes like this is do not punish your players for experimenting. Reward them for experimenting because they will come up with crazy, wacky shit and it'll make a clip and it'll be funny and we will laugh.
Probably post this for everybody so they actually like have context to what we're talking about. Sorry guys, we're not gatekeeping you, I swear.
No, absolutely, yeah.
That's the Heroes Jesus fucking Christ. Overwatch spotlight for all the new stuff coming out. I
Yeah. Also, loot boxes are coming back. Like,
yes, that's huge.
like I, like I said, I'm curious how they do that because obviously so much of the stuff is premium. But that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, and they've got some heroes lined up. The new hero looks fine. Like they look fine. Um, I also realized that since I stopped playing, they added a new tank. I think his name's Hazard. Um, because I stopped playing the game just as they added Juno.
Oh, I
So,
stopped
but
playing when they added Life Weaver? Is that his name?
yeah, no, yeah, I like Lifeweaver. One of Lifeweaver's quick play perks is basically he turns his firearm into a needler.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like he just so like and yeah, this is in quick play, this is in stadium, but like you shoot, like he has the thorns, right? And if you
Yeah.
hit a certain amount of thorns on the enemy, there's an explosion that does pulse damage.
Oh, that's fucking sick,
That's
dude.
fucking that's sick, bro. Because a little bit of spray and pray. It's just like fucking detonate three people. It'd be sick.
You're so back, dude.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm kind of in the camp of like I'm not gonna say it because I want I want it to come out because it's always like I have the mantra now, right? And this is my 2025 quote. This is what I'm gonna live by for the rest of the year is try the food in the restaurant before you rate try the food the chef cooks before you rate the restaurant, right? Because you get a lot of people being like, "Oh, this is shit." It's like, yeah, but did you eat the food? Or did you just look at the sign and say you hated it? Did you actually
Yeah.
eat what was served to you? Try the food before you rate the restaurant.
That's the other
And
that's the other thing I don't understand with people is like how you gonna make a fucking how are you going to convey your fucking opinion on something that you've never tried?
yeah,
That you've seen one video on and you're just like, oh, that's not for me. Cool, dude. Don't need to shit on it for everybody else.
yeah.
Like
Especially like when it's a free game, it's like give it a go.
yeah.
Give it and if it really, if it doesn't hit, that's fine. I'm really curious about what the Ramatra perks are gonna be. Like that's what I want to
Oh
see.
god.
And you got all these guys like, oh, these Twitch streamers are faking their reactions because they've been paid off by Blizzard. If Blizzard paid them, they would need to disclose that to you. Yes, there is going to be some grace to them because Blizzard have flown them out to show them like early footage. They've given them a setup. They've given them all this. If like Flats was sat down with one of the developers as he
Yeah.
was playing. Like, it's absolutely Flats has gotten some special treatment, but I think, also they may genuinely just be excited. I know this might be an alien thought to you and your super uber mega brain, but maybe people are excited for the thing that you don't like.
Yeah. Go
You
figure.
know,
Other people
may
enjoy different things. Concept.
yeah.
No, I do the
I do the
opposite.
opposite. Eat the food, say it's trash, but rate it 10 out of 10. Nah, that's fair. That's
True,
fair.
true.
That's fair. That's actually kind of valid though. That's actually kind of valid though.
Also,
But yeah.
big thing, one thing we didn't
Mm.
mention, you will now be able to play Overwatch in third person.
That will be interesting.
It's gonna
I
be it's gonna be a plus and minus, pros and cons kind of thing, but like I think
I think
it's bringing a different dynamic for sure.
yeah. Like I do not see the and this is the thing again, it's like, oh, you're copying Marvel Rivals, whatever. Like the one thing you gotta keep in mind is a lot of abilities that are in the game currently were all designed with first person in mind. So
Mhm.
for example, something like Reinhardt's Fire Strike, aiming that is gonna take a little bit of getting used to because you're doing it at a different camera angle. Like not necessarily how the abilities work, but how we use the abilities and how we aim the abilities is going to take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
However, there is no negative effect to them adding the option to go third person or first person. You are not forced into either of those things. It is your choice which one you prefer, which means people get to play the game how they would like to. So if you prefer third person, you can go third person. If you prefer first person, you can go first person. I think they were also talking about trying to figure out how they can hotkey it so you can switch between them. Because it's currently an option in the
Yeah.
settings menu, but they would like to have it so that it's on a hotkey. And you do need to figure this out because obviously every key on the keyboard's already doing one thing or another. So you do, like it isn't just a case of just hotkey it because this is genuinely a thing you need to work out as a developer because you don't know what is going to get affected by different things. But
Yeah.
the ability to swap in and out of first and third person at will, and the ability to swap what shoulder you're looking over as well when you're in third person. So we're gonna have like three different points of view that we can have at any one time that we can switch at will. The amount of mechanical play, it's like, because you're gonna know, right, I'm gonna go into first person so I can aim this thing, but then I'm gonna go into third person so I can look behind the cover. Like, it's gonna be a nightmare to watch, but play like you're gonna have so much more choice and control over how you survey the game. It's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah. It's
And I'm not gonna be able to watch any of it because I'll get motion sickness, but it's gonna be great.
yeah. At
Ah.
the end of the day, competition is good.
Yeah.
Unless you're, you know, like I think that's the core thing that people need to understand about this whole new I'm just gonna blanket it as like new Overwatch stuff is they still have their identity, right?
Mhm.
They're not really like swaying too far from what they've already become, unlike something we're used to, multiverses.
Mhm.
They so I think that's the biggest difference is like you can copy, replicate, and innovate as much as you want, but once you lose that core identity to what made your game, that's when everything starts going downhill. And I think Overwatch still has that with all of this in mind. And I think that's what's gonna make a bunch of players come back to it.
I think the thing to keep in mind and the thing we all need to remind ourselves of is all of you who are accusing Marvel Overwatch of just copying Marvel Rivals or, or Marvel Rivals just copying Overwatch, whatever side of the fence you are on in that argument, what was your argument in Overwatch versus TF2?
Hmm.
Because we gotta remember that was the original thing. Oh, Overwatch is just copying Team Fortress 2. Oh, that Team Fortress 2 is better. But that's it's literally the same argument all over again,
Yep.
right? And so for all of you that are saying, oh, Marvel Rivals isn't copying Overwatch, it's its own unique thing. Then if you're saying that, then okay, then a Team Fortress 2 argument. And if you're saying, oh, Overwatch is copying our game and doing this thing, it's like, yeah, but you were also accused of copying Overwatch a couple of months ago, and you were saying, oh, no, it's its own original thing. And then Overwatch was accused of copying Team Fortress 2. Oh, it's its own original thing. Like, you're in the hero shooter genre. Your games are gonna be similar. I hate to break it to you, but at the end of the day, they're all the same because you pick your guy who's got his own unique kit and you kill the other guy, or you don't and you die and you flame your healer for it. They're all the same fucking game. You're all copying each other.
Yeah. It,
Newsflash, dude.
it's like if you're not an innovator for a new genre, it's like you can't even complain about it anymore. Like Dota,
Yeah.
PUBG for battle royales, like
No,
those were the
because
innovators, right?
see, PUBG was copying Minecraft Hunger Games. Not even original.
I mean, so it's like you got that's what a lot of people don't understand is like you have that one point where one company is super innovative and comes up with a new idea, and then everybody, like, they don't really have a choice. They kind of, oh, people like this, we need to innovate on this idea so that our game succeeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know. I think it's also that mix of like there's not a lot of room for original ideas anymore. So it's like, how can you adapt somebody else's idea to make yours a little more original than the last, right?
Yeah. How can you put a twist on this thing? Right? It's like to harken back to our side quest episode. Played up. Oh, it's just copy and overcooked. Yeah, but you need to manage your currency. You need to manage the design of your restaurant. Mechanically, it is the same as overcooked. You make the food, you serve the people, you do it in the time limit, right? But it makes the adaptation of it being the same instead of a different level every time with a different mechanic and a different hazard that you need to deal with, which Overcooked does very well. It's more about, evolving and upgrading, and perking your restaurant to go in a certain direction and deciding which direction you want to go down when you make the thing.
Yeah.
So it's just the same thing of Overwatch are copying a couple of things from Marvel Rivals. Absolutely, the fact that they're adding hero bands, they've clearly seen that that's the better way to go, and they are now saying we should we are now going to go down this route because clearly this is the better way to go. But also we're adding perks into this thing, so we're doing we're copying you in this way, but then we're doing our own thing with the perk system to try and make every game a little bit more unique.
I'm excited to see how it turns out for esports.
Mm,
That's gonna be insane,
yeah.
honestly.
Absolutely. I'm real excited. I'm real excited. And I think, we can definitely say that the Overwatch 2 era was kind of dog shit. It had its moments. It absolutely had its moments. Don't get me wrong, Overwatch 2 has had its moments, but overall it was kind of the downfall, but we may genuinely be in the renaissance of Overwatch, and if that's the case, that is a good thing because you have more games to play that might be good. Good games is good thing. Don't say good games is bad thing because they'll start making more bad games.
Yeah, we'll have the last 5 years all over again.
Yeah. Like, this whole thing of EA now saying, oh, because Star Wars Outlaws got negative reviews and shit. Oh, gamers don't want the single player experience anymore. When I thought the whole point of Jedi Fallen Order was to prove that we do want single player experiences. And
That
now
was
because
the
we've all
funniest
done
shit ever, dude.
and look, I will absolutely say I was one of the people who was like, Star Wars Outlaw. I'm pretty sure it was on this fucking podcast. I had a lot of issues, but in that I was also saying that there was some good stuff in it at the same time. We can acknowledge the bad. That is good because it holds people accountable, but also acknowledge the good things in it so people realize that hey, you're fucked up here, but you're going in a good direction. Just do a different thing. Let's motivate, not degrade. It's degrade. Yeah. One of
You
the
have it.
one of those words is there. One of those words is the thing. English is my first language, I swear.
What was that? What was that CEO hot take that you posted earlier? I'm trying to find that.
Oh, fuck, what was it?
Um. Oh, here we go. CEO of EA says Dragon Age failed with a wider audience because gamers want shared world features.
Mm, mm. Because that's what we want. That's that's a part of that is absolutely a CEO taking the wrong message to try and spin his agenda. Right, we have the same thing going on in the 2K franchise and all the games they're making with NBA and WWE as well. Very much the same thing of certain agendas being spun because of certain point of views and certain opinions. But it's like no, because they're looking for an excuse to take your money, guys. Wake the fuck up,
I
right?
I think it's just hilarious, especially with what we were just talking about going into this. There's definitely been more CEOs that say this kind of shit. Oh, our game failed because of X reason. And it just like wake the fuck up, people.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
like
so wrong. It's insane.
yeah.
And you know they're wrong.
Like,
And
right,
yeah,
here's
we're
the thing, right? Perfect example. Perfect example. I am probably not gonna play Avowed. It's a new game that's come out from Obsidian, the people that
yeah.
made The Outer Worlds, not The Outer Wilds, which is the greatest game ever made, The Outer Worlds, which is a different space game that came out around the same time. It's confusing, I know, stay with me. They also made Fallout New Vegas. I'm not personally gonna play it because I have never personally enjoyed the style of RPG that Obsidian create. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing, right? I like the Baldur's Gate and the Mass Effect where I can also create these really interpersonal relationships between my companions and stuff like that. Um, Not necessarily in a romantic way, but I get to explore those stories, and there is some of that in Avowed, but like it's more focused on the world and stuff, and that's great, and that's
Right.
whatever. But it's just not my thing. But I will say the gameplay in Avowed, if I was gonna play it, it looks fucking dope.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna acknowledge the good things. Because I want you to make more games like Avowed. I just want you to, just because eventually a game like Avowed, but with its own twist, will come out and it will be my thing, and I'll play it and I'll love it. Like we need to acknowledge the good, so they make more games like this. The writing in Dragon Age flop, right? I did not like the writing, but from what I've seen, the combat and the gameplay was really enjoyable, right? And there were a load of different things you can do. It was mainly the story and the writing and the characters they had issue with. So from that, we say, look, we enjoyed the gameplay experience, but we just want you to put more effort into your writing quality.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying Dragon Age bad, because now we're gonna get Dragon Age Online again! We're
Oh
gonna get
god.
Fable on, like, the new Fable game is gonna be Fable Online 2!
God.
No, we're not actually gonna get a Fable game. GTA 6 is gonna be GTA Online 2, and I'm gonna fucking die.
Honestly,
Oh,
if they
God.
like if they do like a online Fable that's reminiscent of Fable 1 and 2 like progression systems, I think I'd be down for it. I'd be down to at least try it. It's probably not going to be super balanced. It's probably not going to like be fucking all out there, but like that progression system is one thing that really got me into RPGs, and I haven't really seen much sense of the same thing. It's like why why can't when I do the thing I gain XP for the thing? Like why it just it was pinnacle.
It's yeah, no, it's really good. I mean, there's a reason Skyrim is really good for that leveling up system
Yeah,
as well. Like,
exactly.
um, I mean, my only issue with the idea of like having like then all these games be online is the second the servers go off, you can no longer play the game.
Yeah.
The second the servers go offline, you lose access to it, right? Which sucks. And it's like we were talking about Steam a couple of months ago, right? When Steam goes offline, you lose all your games. Steam have never made a statement saying that they'll create an offline server for you to keep your game. If Steam shits the bed and disappeared tomorrow, your games are gone. If the online game that if they decide right to when they release GTA 5, we're turning off when they release GTA 6. I did it again. Fuck. Um, that we're gonna turn off the GTA 5 servers. GTA Online's gonna be gone. All that money you spent on all those boats and helicopters and guns and stuff and clothes, it's all gone. You don't get it back. And this is why single player games are very, very important, especially specifically single player games that do not have online DRM. Because when if the servers were to go off, you could still play the game. That's one thing I genuinely have. If I want to, right? I can buy a physical Xbox 360. I can buy the physical copies of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and I will be able to play Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Won't be able to play the online of Mass Effect 3, which sucks because although I don't like how it was integrated into the story, the multiplayer of Mass Effect 3 was actually quite fucking good. But I can still enjoy those games because they were made for single player experience. But I can't do that if you make your game always online because eventually it's gonna go Sea of Thieves, right? Even their like safer sea stuff, it goes on to you need to get a server. So the second Rare turns off the Sea of Thieves servers, Sea of Thieves is gone. It's gone. They might make a thing in the future where they make it a single player offline thing, but right now, a lot of these games that we enjoy, the second the servers go offline, they're gone. They're gone. And we need to push developers away from that because I would like to keep playing the game that I spent $60 on, please.
Yeah, I think that's one of the scariest things about this digital era is just
Mm-hmm.
having everything magically disappear. Um,
Yeah.
it's like it's like one little wire crossed or one bad hack or something, and we're back in the fucking 360 days, right?
Yeah.
uh,
Which were honestly the peak years of gaming.
true, true.
Genuinely, like, and this is if games like Baldur's Gate 3, Outer Wilds, and stuff like that were coming out uh, if we had the technology, if they were able to come out in the PS3, Xbox 360 era, fucking Jesus Christ, I would have never left the house. I barely left the house as it was, but I would have never left the house because holy shit, imagine if you had those games like on the 360. Having GTA 5 on the 360 was wild.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen all that game. There's still some peyote I haven't gotten to yet. To this day, I probably could if I wanted to, but
peak gaming, honestly. Um, I
fucking I miss
mean,
the 360. I wish my setup supported a 360, but I need to modify a lot of stuff to make room for it and shit.
I still got all the old consoles somewhere. Like they're all scattered about, so they're there. I just don't know how many
Yeah.
how many games are valid anymore. I still think I have my original like Xbox somewhere. It's
Fuck yeah,
somewhere.
dude.
And I still
Uh,
kind of want to turn it into an arcade machine, to be completely honest. But that's that's a project for when J Dog actually has time to do things.
mm-hmm. No, for sure. Imagine you have your own little like arcade studio. You got the 360 machine over there. You got the PlayStation thing over there. You got a VR headset in the back.
Well, that's the thing. I could just like, if I really wanted to, just turn it into basically the processing unit and just build like an arcade cabinet around it and just fucking
Mm-hmm.
go. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a project and a half. I might actually start thinking about doing that.
But don't forget, this is also the guy whose PC didn't work when he was 12 because he had about 8 PS4, PS3 CDs like fucking jammed in there. Or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, the PC worked. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't play anything.
Because he didn't check the CD tray. And there were
Well,
a lot of
that
PlayStation discs in there.
as much as I, built computers and stuff with my dad, it's so bad that it took me that long to realize that there was a fucking pinhole in CD fucking drives that is you can just force eject everything. Yeah, that
Mm,
kind of made me feel dumb.
yeah.
Um but we are over an hour.
Yeah.
Do we do Game Sense? I hit it's a
I
5-minute video. We
I
can
think
go over
we
it.
I think we save it for when the other guys are here because um like me and Quang tend to be the two that are like, all right, let's give this guy a chance, and then Juice being here to flame the fuck out of him, and then you know, I feel like Juice not being here and Quang not being here for Game Sense, like it does lose a certain charm to it.
True, true.
And then if we do get more clips for it, then we have a backlog as well.
Oh, I got at least 16 other games to go through. I
Yeah.
just need to sit down and
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think we save it for when they're here because, you know, they decided not to show up to work. They wanted to go to a convention instead. We didn't really address that, did we? We acknowledged they weren't here, but like we didn't say what. They're not dead.
they're not dead.
They're not dead.
No, Queen's
Well,
just playing fighting games and Juice is getting us content.
mm,
Apparently, it's the tier list they've been doing is bit had a huge reaction. Like I Juice sent me like he said like half an hour of video just from yesterday alone. So
nice,
that's
nice,
gonna
nice,
be fun
nice.
to sift through.
We love that. We love that. Yeah, they're at Genesis. They're at Genesis Mute.
Genesis
So that's why it's just
XP.
us today. But I mean, we prove. I guess, like you know, if nothing else, we've proven that if a couple people are missing, we can still make XP share work.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot to go over. That was
Yeah, yeah, we also did get quite lucky with the topics this week. But then again, if we wanted to, I have not touched on the new WWE game other than the fact that it's coming out. But I could do a full episode on that alone because I have opinions on it. But I will, I'll save that for I'll save that for the next episode. I think because the next episode will be just before it actually comes out.
Oh
So
shit.
we'll be able to do a before and an after, of my WWE experience. We'll figure that one out.
Wasn't wait, tier list? No, wasn't he the guy that Yeah, no. So what they're doing at Genesis is they're doing I don't know if they're doing a character tier list as well. I don't know if that plan went through, but our guy that does the anime podcast, they're doing an anime tier list, which basically I guess is getting good reception. So you either pick a random new show out of the bag and you put it on the tier list, or you move something that's already on the tier list to wherever you want. So they get to the decision of what they want to do, and I think that's it sounds like it's popping off. So
Hmm. But yeah, no, I think I may try and secure like a 20 minutes of the next couple of XP shares for before and after for WWE because
yeah, stuff
God, like I'm
needs to
not
be
allowed
said.
to. Well, I am gonna get the early access to it, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be said. We will basically at that point have all the information just before the early access, so I'll be able to do a before and an after in the next two episodes of this. I'm not allowed to stream the early access, but I'm gonna fucking record some shit and I'll make like if it is either a lot better or as bad as I fear it will be, um, you could expect a video both on my channel and I will probably give it to Cracked as well to upload as an extra little thing because Jesus Christ 2K, what the fuck are you doing? You're making an inferior game to the one that was released a decade ago.
Oh God.
But it's fine.
And
But it's fine.
innovation.
Yep. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Next time, 2 weeks. All that and more in 2 weeks' time.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 44. 44. 100%. We
Yeah.
will see you guys well, next side quest, which is week and a half. So the 26th we'll be back. We'll also be back with multiverse tournaments this Friday. So keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be sick. I'm actually excited for this new season. It's gonna be great.
Good luck to everyone involved. Good luck. Good luck. But we'll see
Anyways,
you soon.
adios,
Bye.
guys. Have a good one.
Bye
Deuces.
bye.